Hello everyone, this is the Lord Gersh with Aiuracademy and the Geek Overthinker giving you a Heroes of the Storm Shoutcast on Blackheart's Bay. Over here in the blue corner we have a Lili, Stitches, Sergeant Hammer the Siege Tank, Valla, and Nova riding one of those strange rainbow billy goats that look really creepy to me. On the red side, we have Uther, Stitches, Valla, Falstad, and a Lili who is just kind of hanging out right now. So the way the meta on this map tends to work is that both teams typically rush for this watchtower at the very beginning of the game. And spawns a very early team fight from there. Once the Cursed Treasure spawns at a location here, the teams generally move south, and you sort of have a protracted team fight for the first several minutes of the game. Now here we have Uther and Valla, who have moved on the red team to that engagement, but on the blue side, 4 of their heroes, actually all 5 of their heroes now have come, and Uther is the first to go down in this match as the red team sort of eschews this initial objective. Lili still appears to not be connected, which is quite a shame for the red team. As the game begins to get underway, we're starting to spread out a little bit. The Sergeant Hammer here, positioning at a very good spot right here. Positioning, of course, being extremely important for the Siege Tank hero as she begins to whittle away this guard tower almost immediately into the game. And now we have the treasure chest spawning. Now these treasure chests, as you collect the doubloons, you will eventually be able to give them to the pirate Blackheart. When a team has a certain number of doubloons, Blackheart will unleash his cannons on the structures of the other team. Once again, blue in a very tight knot here, pushing red away, and sort of winning the initial team fights here pretty convincingly, being able to force red out of the lane at any point in which they engage. Blue now delivering the first doubloons to Blackheart as the blue Stitches goes to take the other chest. This is, if blue can get enough coins in right now, this is going to give them enough of a commanding lead, getting the first volley of cannons off at the red team, and a very good start for them now. Good hook by Stitches there. We'll see if he and Valla together will be able to take down the enemy Valla, the blue Valla. That is not the case. Instead, Lili and Stitches coming in together are able to take down their Nova. Now, one thing to remember also is if you are carrying doubloons and are killed by an enemy hero, for example, this Lili right here has to be careful, because if she goes down, she'll drop the 2 doubloons that she's carrying, and if Lili is able to turn these in, then that will involve the first round of cannon fire from Blackheart onto the red team. Now here we have a lot of heroes at very low health, Stitches, Uther, and Lili. Those 2 heroes together being able to put out quite a bit of healing, and are and because of that are able to survive a lot longer than they have any right to. Lili also now going down. I believe that was 4 kills on the blue team for nothing with red. So despite them being behind initially on the doubloon count, they have been able to come back by winning a team fight fairly decisively, and now will turn in a good set of doubloons, putting it 8-4 right now. That's not enough for either Blackheart to fire on either team. Now Falstad with his movement ability, teleporting up to the top lane and almost taking down Nova, forcing her out of lane as she is forced to retreat. Not a lot of action going on right here. Both teams in a little bit of a lull as both regroup and try and move their strategies forward. The red team here has grouped up and is taking a set of the Siege Giant minions. On Blackheart's Bay, in addition to unleashing the mercenaries when they are captured, they also release some doubloons, and it looks like Valla and Uther here are maybe thinking about going south and taking the knights, but instead are going to engage Stitches directly. Valla appears to have turned in the last few doubloons for the blue team, and Blackheart is now firing on the red team here. As you can see, Blackheart targets, sort of in order of precedence, gates and forts and towers, as we have a small team fight developing here with Stitches, very durable hero, being taken down by the combined assassin power of Valla and Nova, with Lili backing them up on the opposing red Lili, and Falstad skirmishing, trying to slow this push down, as now Sergeant Hammer joins the fight. Valla vaults forward, trying to take down Lili, and not quite being able to, as she's able to make an escape with Sergeant Hammer set up here and is now chipping away at these towers. Is now going to have to make maybe a bit of an escape as Valla... Ooh, no! Red Valla goes down. Uther not able to save her in time. Now Stitches back up. Now Stitches is, of course, an exceptionally durable hero. In addition to being a warrior with a good pool of hit points and defenses, Stitches also has abilities that let him, like, take bites out of the enemy and heal himself. Uther being a very durable hero as well. The running joke being Uther walks away, but with him low on health and mana right now, one more good hit will be the end of him. He manages to get away, though. As this skirmish, I can't really call it a team fight, as this skirmish continues in the middle lane between these two teams. Sergeant Hammer now setting up, wishing her range was probably a little bit longer to engage these heroes, and now a rather full-on health red team is pushing forward against a rather weakened blue team. They're going to need to retreat here, or they are not going to survive. Sergeant Hammer going down right there, and a good deal of power from the team being lost as a result of that. Valla in a dangerous position here, vaulting forward, manages to take out the blue Valla, but dies herself as the chests appear with the doubloons. Stitches and Lili beginning to hit them, unleash the treasure, as Falstad, I believe, just turned in some doubloons. Nova sort of skirmishing around, very low on health, but a very high damage assassin, maybe looking for a place where she can engage like that, and that's going to hurt Falstad enough that he may be forced to retreat at this point, as again we have a team fight, a 3v3, I'm sorry, developing here in the middle again, a place which has been just plentiful of these team fights now. I believe all 5 characters on both teams right here, both of them dancing around looking for a good point to engage at. Stitches, both Stitches throwing out hooks. The blue Stitches landing on the red Stitches, which is about the character which you would least like to grab here. Blue now with their act together able to force red out of lane. The red team is now moving to take some doubloons from these. I don't even, these skeletons here, perhaps? No, they're heading to take the second chest, which has not been unlocked by either team right now. And here we have Stitches just sort of walking alongside, both teams kind of thinking that the other one is heading into an ambush. Which one is going to be right here? Uther at very low health and mana. Stitches tries to grab him, gets the Valla instead. Uther goes down anyway. Blue team Valla getting hammered on by the enemy Stitches. Lili goes down. Valla forced to retreat. Really nice play there by the red Stitches, able to keep his health full. Oh, but now he's possibly trapped. Oh, nope, that was the wrong Valla that I saw. I thought that was the blue Valla that had come back in. It was the red Valla, and that team of Stitches and Valla together are able to take down at least 3 of the opposing team as they now move to turn in a pile of doubloons. 3 for Valla, 9 for Stitches. Now, they're not going to be able to get all of those in at the same time. They already have 4 doubloons in, so they're going to have to hold on to those and try very hard not to get killed and have those doubloons fall into the hands of the enemy team, as Blackheart is now firing on the blue center base, taking down their gate, and now the guard towers will be following. The red team, having shifted over, is beginning to pick up some of these mercenary camps. Blue taking some of the skeletons up top, trying to stock up on doubloons as well. Good job maintaining vision of this watchtower in the center, and it looks like with 3 or 4 of their characters, they're beginning a pretty serious push in towards the center here, towards the first red fort. Red having already lost a fort in the middle, courtesy of Blackheart bombardment and a push there. We have these 3 characters working here as Red focuses on taking the knights down on the bottom lane. Red, I suppose, hoping that due to the early stage of the game, and there not being a lot of minions on the blue team right now, that they can either afford to lose the fort, which I'm not sure they can, given the fact that they're already down by 2 forts. Maybe Red's trying to put together a big push here, turn in some more doubloons, and get 2 in a row. Now Stitches caught out of position with 4 of Red Team's members standing there. An orbital strike by Nova is able to disorient the Red Team enough for Stitches to escape. But now Nova and Valla coming down here. I'm not sure that was the best move on their part, as a very tough duo of Uther and Stitches moves forward. Valla strafing, trying to take down Nova. As these 2 duel, Valla gets the kill, Nova goes down, Uther picking up skeletons here as the red team is now completely clear to turn in their doubloons, and that, it looks like, is going to be not quite another bombardment against blue already. Falstad now on the bottom lane. A surge of knights, giants, plus minions moving forward here. This is a very serious push with the blue team out to defend against it. Up top, you still have this duo of of Hammer and Lili that have been pushing against here. I've managed to take down the gate in one of the towers at this point, but may have overextended as Stitches and Valla come up to defend against. And it looks like the red team is perhaps eyeing their Knight Mercenaries here. If they can force these enemies off, Lili dropping her healing ultimate there, they will probably escape. I would like to see the red team circle back, pick up their Knights, Interestingly, when I wasn't looking, it looks like Red has managed to acquire another set of cannonballs from Blackheart as the gates and guard towers are falling, and a couple of hits on the fort there. Red does pick up these Knight Mercenaries now, and it looks like from their pings, both teams are thinking of heading to take the Grave Golem up top, which we could have a possible surprise team fight here as both teams head in that direction. Stitches and Lili now moving in. Do they see the blue team there? Now they do. There's an engagement here that I don't think Hammer and Lili were expecting, but a lot of damage being layered on Stitches. He goes down very quickly. Valla comes in trying to help, trying to secure a couple of kills, maybe take down Lili, or Hammer is not able to do so, and she goes down from Hammer, not able to take that out. And interestingly enough, both teams injured enough to leave the Grave Golem alone. Uther kind of soloing on his own here has taken, I think, both of these pirate camps, skeleton camps, and has gotten 5 more doubloons for the red team. Red at this point is basically all dead. And all 5 members from Blue are up. I would like to see them be a little more aggressive than they currently are. Blue is now moving down to take the doubloons from the top chest. Uther sitting on a good number of doubloons. 5 of them is going to go turn in. A lot of danger right here. Nova is able to catch him, and now a hook from Stitches. Uther able to heal himself and will probably make an escape without losing those 5 doubloons. But we now have a team fight developing around Blackheart as both teams try to get their doubloons turned in. Good targeting orbital strike by Nova there. Valla comes in, strafing, is able to take down Sergeant Hammer. It's now 1-for-1. Stitches goes down. That's 2 kills on both sides. Now Falstad moves forward with his very high mobility, trying to get Valla or Lili on the opposite team, but I think they're going to decide the discretion is the better far of valor. Uther trying to get his doubloons turned in. Nova harassing. This is a very dangerous position for her to be in right now. One good solid hit from either one of them could get Nova killed here. But Uther, also very dangerous. He's got 7 doubloons left. He's got a survivor. That's going to be a very dangerous place for the blue team. Falstad coming in doing body blocking. Kind of strange to see an assassin saving the support, but that's the situation that we are in right now. As both teams sort of take a break to regroup, heal. Falstad is... I thought he was going to take that night camp. Now he's teleporting back home. Uther, once again, maybe considering trying to take the Giants or sneak back in to get his doubloons turned in. On the blue side, Nova's picking up the pirate skeletons right here, getting a couple more doubloons for the blue team to try and turn in later. Red picking up their siege giants, and blue has done the same. Oh, no, that was quite some time ago. Now Nova turning in her doubloons. Red team, along with giants, having captured the giants, I should say. Oh, Lili caught out of position. She going to be able to survive. Nova missing her mark on that orbital strike, and she goes down as red team Valla, Stitches, and Lili moves forward. Lili using her heal ability. This is not a good position for Blue to be in. Stitches trying to come up and flank from behind, but there's all 5 members of the red team right here. If they can focus their efforts enough, I think they will be able to take down a couple more members of the blue team. There goes Sergeant Hammer. Stitches continuing to move forward, getting slowed down by both Lili and Valla. Stitches coming in, trying to save the day, not going to be enough. Red team looks like they're thinking about taking the opposing team Giants right here. Uther moving to turn in his now 8 doubloons, which will give the red team 13, and almost enough for another cannon bombardment. Red is able to successfully take the blue team Giants as they begin to walk down and join the Giants from the other side, and Red has now gotten both of them. Red, despite not having very good map vision, has very good map control and is able to force team fights when they want them, and now have enough doubloons turned in that Blackheart is going to get another set of bombardment against blue team right here. Red now splitting up, looks like maybe heading for the Grave Golem, among other locations. The blue fort getting bombarded here. It is going to go down from the next bombardment from Blackheart. Blue team looking like they're heading to take their knights, which is a good move on their part. At this point, mercenaries is very important for them to take. You cannot defend against Blackheart's cannonballs. They will hit you and they will kill you, and the only way to defend against them is to keep the other team from getting those coins and mercenaries. Now the Grave Golem goes down. Red team picking it up, getting a few more coins, and a boss monster now heading down the top lane, and it looks like Red is going to join them and support this push all the way through. Sergeant Hammer trying to mount a defense. Lili gets caught by Stitch's hook. A good orbital strike from Nova misses. Valla comes in strafing. She's able to take down Sergeant Hammer. The blue team Nova and Stitches coming up from the bottom, able to take down red team Stitches, and Valla tries to make an escape. It's going to get hooked, can't vault away fast enough, and blue team Stitches and Valla now skirmishing with Falstad and Lili. Falstad doing a good job of picking up those dropped coins there. Is going to take these skeletons here and then possibly go turn in his doubloons as well. That engagement was technically a win for the red team as they went 3 for 2, but I have to say that blue team won that engagement strategically, being able to push back a rather large attack consisting of both knights and the Grave Golem. This point, again, blue a little bit disorganized, heading in different directions here. Looks like Stitches is maybe heading to turn in coins at Blackheart, but he's going to be too late as another really large turn-in by Uther on the red team is going to have bombardment coming in on the blue side again. Blue trying to regroup a little bit, get some skeletons, get some more doubloons, maybe build up a good number here for the next time Blackheart's available to turn in. Uther just kind of walking around as a solo operative, trying to take these giants on his own. Red team picks up their knights on the top side. We have maybe a little bit of a team fight that's going to start here. Falstad lighting off his ultimate as Stitches and Lili join the fight on the red team. Valla comes in, strafing, doing tons of damage to the enemy. Valla and Sergeant Hammer, both of them at very low health. Oh, if Valla had vaulted forward, she might have been able to get the kill, but now Stitches moves forward, grabs Sergeant Hammer, and knocks him out in one shot. Red team, having recovered the vision up here, is now heading down. Looked like they were thinking about turning into balloons, but blue managed to get them and is firing on the red fort here as red's siege giants begin to move forward as well. Blue team trying their best to defend against now catapult minions as their first inner fort has fallen on the middle lane. Red team heading down and picking up the knights on the bottom. It looks like the blue team is maybe trying to come in and see what's going on, but Nova is too late. She better get out of there before someone notices that she is there or she's going to go down. Stitches and Valla coming in with a flank on the side. At this point, it's unfortunately, Stitches just has way too much health, and even that orbital strike from Nova isn't enough to do much damage to him. Valla strafing, almost taking down both Nova and Lili, as the enemy Stitches has already fallen. It's now 5-on-4. Blue is forced to mount a retreat as another huge push. Knights plus giants plus multiple heroes coming in. Uther hanging off to the side, trying to pick up these giants and add them to the fight as these heroes skirmish in. Sergeant Hammer goes down. The towers are going to go down here, and the blue team is going to be knocked back on their heels. Maybe looking at the next time doubloons are turned in by the red team, they could be taking down multiple inner forts. Very rough engagement by blue there. 4 of their teammates ending up dead, only their Valla surviving. Uther, again, sitting on 8 coins is a bit of a dangerous spot to be in, again, with so many of them. Falstad turning in his coins, and now he's Hearthstoning back. These are the only members of the red team that are active right now. As blue team respawns, Stitches is going to go and defend this push from the north. Valla moving on to the south side. Uther kind of abandoned his siege giants here. There's one cowering. I didn't realize that would happen. The other siege giant fully healed as Uther moved away to turn his coins in before the blue team respawned. I sort of wonder if this is a glitch, if both of these should have reset and only one of them did. That's somewhat interesting. Now as red is beginning to respawn, it seems like they have several pings up on the top to get that Grave Golem when it respawns in a couple of seconds. Stitch is moving over here. Is he going to take the other half of these siege giants, it looks like? Again, blue team seeming very disorganized and not very well in control of this map. Sergeant Hammer and Nova here are going to move forward and take the giants and possibly the skeletons as well. Or Nova could not help them, whichever. Once red finishes picking up this Grave Golem, they're going to have a very serious push coming into the center, coming in towards the Nexus. This fort, I mean, there's no defense left for it. Sneezing on this tower is going to have it go down. If red is smart, they'll probably come around here and take the knights on their way. Blue team is nowhere nearby, not able to defend, going for doubloons, when at this point they really need to be concerned about defending their core. The whole red team is available here. They're going to take these knights down very quickly, and now you have an insane push of giants plus knights plus all 5 members of the red team pushing in towards the blue core. And if blue does not retreat back to their base to defend against it, this game could be over very quickly. Looks like blue has Hearthstone back. This is still a very major push. We could be coming towards the end of this game. Well-placed orbital strike by Nova. A second orbital strike, I think, by Nova. We are past level 20, so she has the pass ability. Lets her do that. Blue mounting a powerful defense here. Uther and Valla taking serious damage. Lili half dead. Even Stitches with a lot of his hit points missing. And gosh, with nobody on red team dead, it looks like they better start retreating, or otherwise they're going to be in some serious trouble. Valla has already pulled back and is Hearthstoning home. Very smart move on her part, not getting killed. Blue team able to, sort of against all odds, turn this push back, take down Lili, and basically repel this entire push, the Knights plus the Giants, with no losses on their own. A really excellent defense by then. Red doing sort of a slow retreat, able to turn in some doubloons on the way as Valla is pursuing and harassing. But at this point, if Valla continues to be this aggressive, she's going to get hooked and killed. As red team now picking up some skeletons and some more siege giants. Red team has been very aggressive this entire game with mercenaries, and now Valla and Uther moving forward. Looks like Nova is going to go down, but Lili and Stitches come in. I don't think Uther's going to be able to survive that, but never underestimate the durability of Uther as he starts walking away and Stitches comes in to body block. Once again, Uther walks away. Ladies and gentlemen, very injured Valla now going to go and heal as Uther and Stitches try and slow down this counterattack by Lili and the blue Stitches on this side as Sergeant Hammer sneaks around. I think at this point, Sergeant Hammer might have had the ability to make a play for these knights, but is not doing so. Falstad is going to jump on top of Sergeant Hammer, and Lili comes in trying to support. It'll be interesting to see whether this 2-on-1 does not go Falstad's way, and he does go down. At this point, it's really Red's game to lose, and actions like that from Falstad are a good way to lose it. Sergeant Hammer and Lili on the blue team are pushing forward. Red focusing on turning in some doubloons, one more coin turning on their part, and Blackheart will be bombing this Moonwell Tower and fort, and then just targeting the core, which from that last push is already down to 47% health, plus some shields to help it out.
They're all paid up.
And there it is. That's the turn-in from Red. I don't think this is going to end the game, but this is going to critically injure the blue team as the guard tower goes down, the Moonwell goes down. This fort is now going to take 5 or 6 cannonballs to eventually get killed. Red's going to pick up the Siege Giants on the blue side. At this point, the Siege Giants are almost more powerful than the Knights because they're able to stay out of range of the core and the forts and deal a lot of damage. If red can power through these minions and let the Siege Giants get to the core, blue is going to be in an even harder position than they were before. Looks like blue, still kind of sneaking around and doing this split push, has picked up some Knights. Sergeant Hammer hearthstoning home, understanding what's going on and trying to defend against this. If blue continues this split push, especially Stitches, and goes after this fort instead of defending their own core, I don't think they're going to survive. But red inexplicably retreating right here to defend against this real non-entity, non-push on the part of Stitches. Orbital Strike's going down by Nova. That Orbital Strike is a global range, don't forget. And again, red has retreated to accomplish almost nothing other than a probable kill on Stitches here, which he has the Resurgence of the Storm Talon, so he's going to be back up by the time they even get to, by the time they get over to the blue core. But at this point, I think red is focused. They know they have the game in hand. Oh, now there's a team fight developing here. Valla comes in, strafing, takes down 1, 2 enemies plus, well, Nova duplicate. But they lose 2 of their own as the blue team Valla lays down a killing blow on Lili and Falstad. Valla also taken down shortly thereafter. Now, sort of a 3-on-2 matchup as Uther and Stitches, a very durable combination. And now just Stitches tries to get a few more kills here. If he retreats, he's probably going to die. He needs to be very strategic here in moving around, and he's doing so. This Stitches player is really an all-star right here, trying to pick off just a couple more kills, using his incredible durability to stay in on this lane when he really has no right to, taking down Nova and then dying himself to Stitches, who now, goodness gracious, has 18 coins available, and he needs to go and turn those in right now. Oh, but Uther is here maybe to check him. Oh, but the Uther backs away, and blue team is going to get a free bombardment by turning in just an incredible number of coins.
Let's liven up this place.
So this is going to deal some damage to red, take out their Moonwell and this fort as well, and maybe some of the supporting structures around this fort too. But red, with the game basically in hand, really needs to find a way to close it out. This Lili is unfortunately being controlled by computer. It looks like this player never connected. Valla and Falstad hanging up north by the Grave Golem, trying to figure out whether or not to engage it, and it looks like they're deciding to go ahead and go for it. Bit of a risky move on their part. They don't have very good vision on where the blue team is right now, and despite the fact that blue is not near them, I mean, they don't know that for sure, with the exception of probably some intel from Lili that the Stitches is in this general area. Uther and Stitches now. Uther inexplicably going after skeletons when you don't really need the extra doubloons. The Grave Golem has been taken down, though, almost at the cost of Valla's life. She's going to Hearthstone back and then rejoin for the final push here. A Grave Golem at this stage of the game can be exceptionally deadly. Blue sitting on 0 forts. They know this guy is coming. They can see him on the minimap. They're trying to take these Knights, but I don't think that's a good move. They're not going to be able to take them down fast enough in order to have them body block the Grave Golem. And as you see here, red team's come in and is going to take down Stitches and maybe Valla, and maybe take the Knights as well. And if red team can get the Knights and a couple of kills here, it's going to be very, very hard for blue to mount a defense here. Stitches goes down, but his Resurgence of the Storm says he'll be back momentarily. Red picks up the Knights, all 5 of them heading forward, all 5 of them in pretty good health. The Grave Golem is already beating on the core. It's at 30%. It's at 25%. Well, almost 25%. Team fight's not really an issue right here. It's just a question of beating down the core as fast as possible. The Grave Golem losing health rapidly. He's gonna... Oh, he goes down just as the blue core is destroyed. Red takes the victory with no forts remaining. And I hope you all enjoyed watching that. I sure as heck enjoyed casting that. Please like, comment, favorite, subscribe, and share this video if you enjoy it. Please send me replays if you have Heroes of the Storm replays you'd like me to shoutcast. Send them to aiuracademy@gmail.com. That's AIURACADEMY @gmail. This was a blast. I'll see you guys next time.